one of the takeaways from my technology doesn't relate to my technology.
Right.
The takeaway is that we have triggers, emotional triggers. And just as you and I can hear a song that we first heard in our dorm room, and if we hear it now, we can almost smell the beer on the floor. Um, the five senses that we have are amazing triggers. And any brand and any consumer and any author needs to take advantage, whether it's a color palette, whether it's a sound of a door closing in a certain way, whatever it is, you cannot ignore that. You have to emphasize it. And you build on that to create connections and interactions with your intended audience, whether it's a loved one or whether you're a brand and it's a brand user that could become a brand ambassador. So in our case, we take voice and sound, which is, think of a baby, whether their first cry and their first word, it's the most unmediated way of communication between what makes us human, which is language. And if you take that and you say to yourselves, how can I use it to break through all the clutter and break through all the barrier and just convey not only by the content of my words, but by the intonation and the emphasis and the voice. There's a reason why we say, have you found your voice? And it doesn't always relate to what comes out of your larynx. It's the personality. It's the spirit. That's, I think, the biggest takeaway from, I think, my path, which is I do help brands and individuals communicate in an unmediated, primal, direct fashion. But ultimately, every brand needs to do that, and every person needs to work at it. And I think COVID has here we are talking over Zoom. It has really taken that message to heart. Everybody thought that the telephone had been replaced by the emoji, but here we are picking up the phone and talking to people that we need to be in touch with. We talk on a regular basis. It's not a quick call to transact. It's a call to touch and to hear a familiar voice. Companies that have been doing trade shows now have to find a way of how they can connect with their consumer. Artists who used to have live concerts have to do the same. Everybody talks about what happens the day after. But I hope that one of the silver linings is the day after we remind ourselves when we remember what things kept us going and what things were important to us when we lost so much.